So I purchased this house 5 months ago. I'm a first-time homeowner, and I have learned so much thus far. The hard way and the easy way. Homeowning has been seriously so fun, but there are some things that I have learned in the last 5 months that nobody warned me about, nobody prepped me for, and things I just had to learn through experience. So if you are in the market to buying a house, you are a first-time buyer, you're looking to potentially buy a house maybe next year, and you're just like, what do I need to know? Here are some of my tips of things I have learned thus far. I've been doing a bunch of videos regarding this topic, from searching for the house, closing on the house, giving the empty house tour, updates on the house, so feel free to check out that playlist with all my home videos in there, including this one. The next video I'm gonna be doing is for you guys with my actual realtors, the realtor that helped me get this house. They're gonna give you guys tons of tips of what to avoid, what to look for when purchasing a house, and just good tips to know if you are in the market. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and find it beneficial. And if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to my channel. My name is Jeanine Amapola, and I hope you guys will subscribe and stick around for more of my videos. All right, let's get into the things I have learned thus far from being a homeowner. It's a lot. The first thing I wish I knew before purchasing a house is how much work it would take. I had no idea. Depending on the house that you purchase, it might be more move-in ready. I bought a little bit of an older house that I decided I wanted to do some flips and some renos to, some additions. So I've been adding some things like this little, this thing, I don't think you can see it. That little cabinet right there. I have videos all on the things I've added in my house thus far. You'll see that in that video link down below. So depending on the house that you get, you're gonna need to add some things or remove some things. And so my house was pretty much move-in ready, but to get it up to my style and the way that I liked it, I've been adding a ton of different things. And oh my gosh, it is so much work and very, very time consuming. So you just need to be prepared that adding things is going to take time, whether that's working with contractors or the actual reno process or ordering things in the mail. Materials are back ordered like crazy, so you have to have a lot of patience because it does not come overnight. It's not like you just pick up the phone, you're like, hey, I want this done right now, and it gets done. A lot of things in homeowning take a lot of time, so just be prepared. It's a lot of work and a lot of time. Number 2 is how expensive it would be. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. So from contractors to fixing things to adding furniture to just small things as like, oh, I wanna swap out this lamp or I wanna add this small thing. It could add up very, very easily. So make sure you budget for that as well, because contracting, adding paint, furniture, shipping, extra bills, because I'm paying, water bills, electricity bills, gas bills, cable bills, Wi-Fi, alarm system, contractors, landscaping, it adds up, I'm telling you. So make sure you're doing your due diligence of researching, asking neighbors, maybe being on the Nextdoor app, asking your neighbors, hey, what do you guys recommend? And just budgeting for that, because you don't know what random things are gonna pop up that are going to need your money. So always have an extra budget or fund or something set aside for emergencies or things that you may want to add, or just accidents that can happen, because a ton do. And let me tell you, I have a first case scenario of that right now in my kitchen, which I will show you guys in a little bit. So that is a prime example of something that happened that I did not budget for. Well, I did kind of budget for, but I didn't know it was going to happen, and it did. And now I'm having to pay that out of pocket, which will lead me to my next point. Number 3, things randomly break all the time, and you have to be prepared for that as well. So this is what I mean when I say random things are going to happen in your house. My floor is destroyed right now, and this is a result of water damage and some things I did not foresee, which is why I'm saying be prepared for stuff like this to happen. When I moved into this house, it was a new flip. It was an older house that they just flipped. And things on the outside can look really, really good. You're like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And then next thing you know, the door handle breaks off, or the glass doesn't start moving, the glass door on the shower, a light starts falling out. Like, you never know. So be prepared that things might randomly start breaking. Again, having, a budget set aside for that, or maybe having a go-to contractor or just somebody you trust. So just be prepared. That is a huge chunk of homeowning, is random things happening, and you are solely responsible for it. There's no more calling a landlord, which RIP. I miss just texting my landlord being like, hey, can you fix this? Now I'm the landlord. Now my roommate texts me and she's like, hey, can you come fix the shower? And I'm like, crap. I'm the landlord now. I am the captain now. So just be prepared for that as well. Number 4 is how it sucks to be dependent upon people. So like I'm saying, things break, accidents happen, etc, etc, etc. It's really annoying to especially be me. You know, this is my first time doing this. I don't know how to fully fix everything. No, I really do try to be a very self-sufficient person of figuring out how to fix things, how to know how to do things. Like right when I moved in, I was like, okay, how do I turn the water heater on? I was trying to fix something on my door the other day. Like I really do want to be self-sufficient, but there's certain things you just cannot be self-sufficient on. Like I don't know how to do majority of things of fixing a home. And so I realized how it does kind of suck to be dependent upon somebody. So the more you can learn, the more you can inform yourself, the more you can try to do trial and error and learning things and educating yourself and watching YouTube tutorials and videos of how to do this or how to do that, the better off you are. It A, saves you money, saves you time, and C, it just helps you be, you know, less reliable on people, because right now I'm quite reliable on people, whether that's my brother or my dad or contractors. It kind of sucks having to be super dependent upon people to get stuff done. So the more you can educate yourself and try to do things on your own, the better off you are. Number 5 is to have good insurance before you purchase the house. I cannot stress this enough. When I was trying to decide what insurance I wanted to get, I asked a ton of people. I sourced a crap ton, talked with a bunch of insurance agents, got quotes, tried to figure out. And so for example, one of the reasons why I'm having flood issues is because I did not get flooding insurance, and because they told me, you know, there's no flooding in your area, you should be fine. Dallas had this crazy torrential downpour about a month ago, and it flooded my flooring in my house, and it seeped through the foundation and it cracked my floors, etc, etc. My insurance is like, we're not covering that because that wasn't a flood, that was just like rain, which I'm like, what? Make sure you have good insurance. Ask a ton of people. Make sure it's good for your area, for your budget, for your home. Be prepared that home insurances do not want to pay if they do not have to. They're gonna try to find any way to avoid paying, unfortunately. So just be prepared that you're gonna probably have to fight tooth and nail with your home insurance quite a bit. So making sure you have really done your research on your home insurance, because it matters and it really can save your butt in emergency. Number 6 is how little I actually know, which kind of sucks. Basically, kind of what I was saying is being self-dependent upon people, but there's just so many things that I did not know before just homeowning. I just went in there kind of blindly being like, okay, I'm getting a house, this is gonna be fun, I'm excited, moving back to Dallas, but there's all these little things that I'm like, I don't know how to garden, I don't know how to keep my plants alive, I don't know how to, you know, install this, or I didn't know how to like fix that. Like there's little things that people tell me that they're like, hey, you shouldn't do that because that's gonna do that, or hey, you should do this because that will do that, and I'm like, I didn't know that. So I think in the beginning it's okay to not know everything. You're not expected to. This is your first time experience, and be okay with the learning curve, because it is a lot to learn, but I think it's good if you're open to learning and letting it actually make you better and teach you something. Number 7 is how long the contractors take. It's so annoying. I have been hiring contractors for, you know, adding storage in my house, floors, doing the backsplash, adding outlets, adding mirrors, like so many different random projects that I'm trying to do. It takes forever for them to get back to you. It takes forever for them to finish the actual job. I thought it was just gonna be this quick, like they're gonna come over, it's gonna be fixed in a day. No, it might take weeks, don't know. So just be, again, prepared that finding a good contractor is hard, making sure you're really doing research on that as well, and that also taking a lot of time. And them also just not being the easiest to work with sometimes, because they're like, no, this is what I think you should do, and you're like, wait, who's the homeowner here? So be prepared that sometimes dealing with contractors is not fun. Number 8 is how there's always going to be something else you want to fix and something else you want to add. It almost feels like your home is never done. Like on the outside, people can come to your house and they can be like, this looks amazing, I love this, and this looks so great. But in your mind, you're like, that needs to be added, that needs to be changed, that needs to be fixed, that needs to be removed. There's like always something that you want to do. And so that honestly kind of makes the process kind of fun, which I think is kind of fun. But also you can kind of be so obsessed with making it so perfect that you never feel like your house is like complete or done. Even people I've talked to that have owned their home for like over 10 years, they're like, oh yeah, like I want to add this and fix that and do that. So it's like a never-ending project, which is kind of fun, but also learning to, you know, be content at the season you are in right now. Okay, my number 10 is making sure that you're really, really happy with the house before you purchase it, unless you're open to doing a renovation. So I was really happy with my house, but I definitely knew there were some changes I wanted to do, but there were some some things that I was like, okay, no, that's not that big of a deal. I don't really care. And now that I've lived in the house for the last 5 months, I'm like, dang, like maybe I wouldn't have picked that, or maybe I would have changed that beforehand, or maybe I would have just like not gone with this house if I had just known that I wasn't gonna be happy with that from the start. But overall, I am still very, very happy with my house, but I just wanna reaffirm to you, make sure you have peace about buying the house, you really love the house, you feel good about the house, and you know what you're getting yourself into before buying a house. Number 10 is making sure you have a good inspector on the house before you purchase the house. I think there's a lot of things that now that I'm looking back, I kind of let slide. Like I did have a good inspector. He came and like wrote out this entire list, and I had the seller fix all of those things, but some of them the inspector told them to do, they fixed it, but did a very cheap job, and I didn't know. And when I moved into it, they started breaking and falling apart, and I was like, what the heck? That was like a cheap job. And so having a good inspector obviously is going to make sure you're not buying crap, or you're buying a house that is actually worth the value, or to avoiding deeper issues or problems down the road that you're not aware of. So making sure that you really have a good inspector. I also had my dad come out and look at the house. I had my brother come out and look at the house and make all these different marks that even my inspector didn't notice, which I'm kind of like, why did he not notice that? Make sure you have a good inspector, because that will save you a lot of pain and a lot of money down the road. Number 11 is doing it alone is very, very, very hard. I have a roommate, but it's not her responsibility to deal with any of this stuff since I am the purchaser, I'm the homeowner, and she's renting from me. So a lot of these things I'm doing on my own, I'm learning on my own. I'm not married, I don't have a husband to do any of this for me. So a lot of my married friends are like, oh yeah, like my husband does that for me. And I'm like, must be nice, like wonder what that's like. But I will say I'm really proud of myself because I am doing this all on my own, and I am learning a lot, and I am becoming more independent, and it's teaching me so much. But it's definitely a lot harder as a single female young adult to be doing this all on my own. And so it's not that I'm not capable of it, it just takes a lot more time and it's a lot harder. So if you're gonna be buying a house, just so you know, doing it alone can be very, very stressful. If you're married or have a partner or a business partner, whatever that may look like, it's a lot easier in that way. But I'm still very proud of myself because I'm working hard and I'm doing the best I can, and I'm learning a lot. And now I'm passing on this information to you guys. Tip number 12 is always ask people for advice. I am learning so much. And so for example, the most recent thing that I randomly would never even thought of until I talked to someone was putting a smoke detector in my attic. One of my friend's houses burned to the freaking ground because there was an electrical fire in the attic. They didn't have a smoke detector in there. They had no idea that the fire was even going on until it started reaching the bottom. And so for example, that was something that I had to learn through somebody, is they were like, hey, put a smoke detector in the attic. And I would have never thought to do that. So I did that literally this morning. And so ask homeowners, ask people that have experience, ask different people, what are your suggestions? What are your thoughts? What are things you've learned? Because I really do believe they have good advice, good things to share with you that help you, again, avoid money problems, avoid, issues in your house, and things that you probably would have just never thought of if it's your first time. And last but not least, how fun and rewarding it is. I cannot tell you how many times I look at my house and I see just God's provision and all my dreams coming true, and just like the vision I had for my house coming into fruition. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is my house. It's honestly so fun. You get to finally create your dream home, your lifestyle, an inviting environment, and you get to walk home and it feels like your home. Like you did that. You did that. Like be proud of yourself. It's really rewarding when you have people come over and you're like, this is my home. And it's so fun. And I just love making it cozy and inviting, and just sitting on this couch being like, oh my gosh, like I did that. Like it's really, really cool. If y'all are interested in the couch that I have, it's from Value Furniture. I love it. I got the 142-inch feathers beige couch. Fits all my friends. It is extremely comfy. It's super easy to clean. You can also take off all the covers, wash them, and delivers right to your house. Extremely easy to set up, and I love it, and it fits my space so well. So check it out, link down below. Don't let this scare you away. Just let it be something for you to think about. But at the end of the day, it is so fun and so rewarding, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So those are all the things I have learned thus far, and things I wish I knew before buying the home. I really hope this helped you guys out, and don't forget I will be doing a video next week with my realtor and her husband on all the things you should be learning from the financial side, things you should be avoiding, things you should think about, etc., etc. They're gonna have so many amazing tips coming from the realtor perspective, more tips that I could probably even think of. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you are new here, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever whenever I upload. And if you want to see more of my life, check out my Instagram, which is Jeanine Amapola, and my podcast where I post every single Tuesday to help you guys out. It's called Happy and Healthy. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye, guys.